Hi viewers, welcome to Shaker's Bio Factory for NEET. If you like this video, subscribe my channel and click on bell icon to get notifications. In this video, I am going to explain the mechanism of osmosis process. Before going to know about osmosis process, first we have to understand the structure of a plant cell. In the structure of a plant cell, the plant cell it is surrounded by a well-defined cell wall, and this cell wall is made up of cellulose. This cell wall which is present around the plant cell, it have a capability to allow both solvent and solute particles through it, and it is permeable in nature. At the same time, below to the cell wall, the cell it consists a plasma membrane, and the inner portion of the it is called plasma membrane. The inner portion of the cell it is filled with cytoplasm. In this cytoplasm, one of the membrane bounded cell organelle is present, and it is responsible to regulate osmosis process. It is called vacuole. So vacuole is a membrane bounded cell organelle, and it occupies a large portion in cytoplasm, and this vacuole it is present in cytoplasm of the cell along with it having a nucleus. The vacuole it is surrounded by a membrane. It is called tonoplast, and the inner portion of the vacuole it consists water, sap, and some of the excretory materials along with various waste materials which are not useful to cell, and the entire structure it becomes into a sap, and this vacuolar sap is called tonoplasm, and this tonoplasm it play an important role to regulate osmosis process. The main function of this vacuole is osmotic regulation, and it play an important role during the movement of water from one side to another side through semi-permeable membrane, and these tonoplasts have a capability to perform active transport against concentration gradient, and it regulates osmosis process. In the structure of a plant cell, cell wall is permeable in nature. Both plasma membrane and tonoplast, these are selectively permeable or differentially permeable in nature. It allows only selected molecules along with solvent. During this osmosis process, the movement of water or solvent it always takes place from region of higher water potential or concentration or chemical potential to region of lower water potential or concentration or chemical potential through a semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. So osmosis is a process in this. So water movement always occur from higher chemical potential to lower chemical potential through semi-permeable membrane. Is called osmosis process. During this osmosis process, the movement of water, it always takes place from higher chemical potential to lower chemical potential until it reach equilibrium. In osmosis, the movement of water always spontaneously occur depending upon driving force. For example, it is a semi-permeable membrane. At one side, it is called A and it is B. If it having higher chemical potential and in B lower chemical potential is present, at this time it creates some concentration gradient. So movement of water spontaneously occurs depending upon driving force, because due to concentration gradient, the movement of water or solvent, it takes place from higher chemical potential to lower chemical potential. It is called driving force. During this osmosis process, the net direction and rate of osmosis, both these are depends on the two important factors. In this, the first factor is concentration gradient, and along with the concentration gradient, pressure gradient. The pressure gradient also play an important role, and this entire process, it takes place up to it reach equilibrium. So equilibrium means when the concentration or chemical potential of both sides become equal, it is considered as equilibrium. The osmosis takes place until it reach equilibrium. To understand the mechanism of osmosis process, by taking two chambers, in this the first chamber is A and second chamber is B. In such condition, in both chamber A and chamber B, when we take water, at this time in chamber A, less number of solute particles are added. These are solute particles. At the same time, in chamber B, more number of solute particles are added. In such conditions, when both these chambers are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, in such condition, it create one driving force, because in chamber A, less number of solute particles are present with more water potential. In chamber B, more number of solute particles are present with less water potential. In such condition, in chamber A, the higher water potential is maintained, and in chamber B, the lower water potential is maintained. In such condition, depending upon driving force, the movement of water, it always takes place from higher chemical potential or water potential to lower chemical potential or water potential until it reach equilibrium. So in such condition, when you take chamber A, in chamber A, the water potential is high, and when you take solute potential, so because of less number of solute particles, their potential is increased, so that the solute potential also high. By taking chamber B, in chamber B, when you take water potential value, so this water potential value is low. In similar way, the solute potential also it is low. In such condition, the movement of water it always takes place from chamber A to chamber B. At the time of equilibrium, so when the water moves from chamber A to chamber B, the net movement it always takes place up to when it reach equilibrium. So at equilibrium, both chamber A and chamber B, so both these having the equal water potential value. So it is a mechanism of osmosis through semi-permeable membrane. At the same time, if a chamber having minus 2000 kilopascals water potential and another chamber having minus 1000 kilopascals water potential, in this condition which one having a higher water potential? Because minus 1000 kilopascals it is a higher value, so that these minus 1000 kilopascals having higher water potential generally. The osmosis process is basically two types depending upon the movement of water from outside to inside or inside to outside of a cell. So by taking one example, it is a living cell. In this living cell, if the water potential value is low inside the cell and the water potential value is high outside of the cell, so in such condition, the movement of water it always take place from higher water potential to lower water potential. That means from outside to inside of the cell. Such type of osmosis called endosmosis. It is called endosmosis. In similar way, by taking another living cell, in this living cell, if the water potential is very high inside the cell and water potential is low outside of the cell, in such condition the movement of water it always take place from higher water potential to lower water potential. That means from inside to outside of the cell. Such type of osmosis is called exosmosis. It is a two types of osmosis process depending upon its concentration gradient. When we talk about the importance of osmosis, the osmosis having various importance in plants. The first importance is the absorption of water by root system. It always take place with the help of osmosis. So absorption of water by roots. So absorption of water by root it always takes place based on osmosis process. At the same time, the osmosis process it helps to closing and opening of stomata due to entry of water into God cells. So osmosis helps in closing and opening of stomata. At the same time, when the water it enters into a cell, that cell is considered as a turgid cell. So turgid cell, due to this turgidity, it directly and indirectly helpful for the growth of cell, and also along with this it helps to maintain a particular shape in cell. It is the importance of osmosis process in plant cell.